And speaking of the winds, we want to get over to our meteorologist, Amber Lee, right now tracking the conditions. So what are we looking like at this moment? Are we ramping up? Are we seeing most of the winds right now?
Yeah, the winds are starting to ramp up. So we are still underway for more of these strong gusts to pick up. So the good news is that yesterday's high wind warning, meaning we thought that it was going to be even stronger than what it turned out to be, has been downgraded to wind advisory. That still means it's still going to be gusty. That doesn't mean that the winds just kind of shut off, but we're already starting to see the winds pick up. In some areas, we'll see wind advisories till 3 p.m., while other areas will see it till about 6 p.m. And so we're looking at some of the strongest gusts taking place around 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m. this afternoon. Here's a look at where we're seeing the gusts coming out currently from Santa Clarita and then into Simi Valley. And then we're starting to see those winds picking up near the Camarillo area. But wind gusts right now, 53 miles per hour for Simi Valley. And then Malibu's also looking at those wind gusts in the mid-20s. Claremont and also Riverside in the Inland Empire starting to see those gusts in the teens. And then because the winds have been with us for the last few days, we are really dry right now. So not only are we talking about low humidity levels, but that vegetation is also dry just because we haven't had a lot of rain, as you know. And then we are looking at those gusty winds. So obviously if a new fire were to start, it would spread really fast. And this is what we've already been seeing the last few days. And so this is a look at our dew point, another good form of moisture measurement, usually in the mid 50s. And that's when we feel like it's really comfortable. But because it's so dry, we're looking at these dew points down into the single digits in Antelope Valley in the mountains, down into the teens and also into the 20s right now. So next weather, what we're watching for is today is the last really windy day. And then things are going to start to change. So peak winds happen later this morning. Then we start to see the winds flip to more of a sea breeze fashion, which is great news starting tomorrow. And that's going to bring us much cooler weather and also bring back a little bit more of that humidity, so it won't make it so dry. And that's exactly what we've been waiting for the last few days. So that should be arriving by tomorrow. So here's a look at what's happening with our fire weather outlook. Critical fire conditions because of the winds, the dry conditions. So again, we are still under this elevated type of fire danger even as we head into the rest of the week. Even though we're going to be cooling down and we're looking at that sea breeze, until we get that rain, we'll be out of that fire danger. But right now our temperatures are well below freezing in areas like the Antelope Valley, wind sheltered locations. And so we do have a freeze warning here. And then all the areas that we're seeing those winds picking up, this is where we're seeing the green. So this is why Simi Valley and Malibu a lot warmer than Santa Clarita. And then we're also looking at those winds starting to pick up in Claremont. So that's going to help warm things up just a little bit more. Simi Valley, you're going to continue to see these really gusty conditions as we head into the rest of the morning and even into the afternoon. And even though a lot of the wind advisories will expire, we'll still have those breezes lingering with us even as we head into the overnight hours. But let's talk about when we're going to see those peak winds. You could see that as we head into the rest of the morning, we're going to continue to see these winds get stronger and stronger starting at 8 a.m. And then, as I mentioned, those strong winds will last with us through the early part of the afternoon. And then as we head into about the 4 p.m. hour, once a lot of these advisories expire, we'll still be left with those breezes, but you can see that the winds start to shift and we have more of that sea breeze really starting to develop. And that's exactly what we've been waiting for. And then we are looking at those winds still lingering through Thursday, but it's going to feel much better because of that sea breeze. And then we're looking at a much calmer weekend here in Southern California. Talk about our temperatures going down. We're talking 72 today for LA and Orange County. By the time we end the week, we're looking at temperatures getting down into the upper 50s. And then for areas like the Valley, 66 today. And then we're pretty much going to stay in the mid 60s for the next few days. And then here's a look at the Inland Empire, 70s today, going down into the low 60s by the time we head toward the end of the week. Coming up, my next weather forecast, I'll tell you about possibly the return of some Santa Ana winds next week. Back to you guys.
All right.